So today I'll be sharing about the 10 plagues, how they are, Kabbalistically, we learn about them from the Egyptians when there was slavery. Passover time, Pesach time. So 1 is blood, 2 is frogs, 3 is lice, 4 is wild beasts, 5 is cattle, they get ill, they die. 6 is boil, 7 is hail, 8 is locust, 9 is darkness, 10 is death of the firstborn. So we say 1, blood, right? Sovereignty, royalty over ourselves, environment, relationships. 2 is yesod, bonding. 3 is hod, submission and humility. These, what I'm listing now, are the 10 Kabbalistic sfirot, attributes, traits, aspects, right? They correspond to the plagues. 4, netzach, perseverance, ambition. We're going backwards up, like 10 to... We're calling 1, malchus is the last one to come. So as we're going backwards, we're going yesod is like the pelvis, malchus is feet and mouth, netzach is right leg, hod is left leg. So we're going backwards, really, up the body. Okay, netzach is perseverance and ambition to meet goals and to make a difference in the world. 5 is tiferes, compassion, truth, beauty. This is like the heart. Kavur is the left arm, love, it's to do with judgment, strength, withholding of oneself. 7 is chesed, loving kindness, indiscriminate giving. It's related to the right arm. 8 is bina, which is the left side of the head, deep understanding and focus, creative intelligence. 9 is chachma, with right side of the head, inspiration and wisdom. 10 is like a crown, super conscious. The soul essence squeezes down into the conscious experience, and actually the chachma and the bina, the 2 sides of the head, together make like a baby, or like make a new one, which is called das, which is knowledge. So God's 10 elemental creative energies is the 7 and emotional and 3 intellectual powers and faculties. In our soul sense, all the attributes are undefined and just manifestations of our power and engagement, the same way God does and is. The choice to use and align with these to express godly care or really our core, or distortion of energy that is toward into or darkness or chaos, is like what we usually hear people say karma. It's really an emotional and psycho-spiritual dysfunction. We call it Mitzrayim, the narrow place, the problem in each of our lives. Mitzrayim is constraint, an authentic soul's expressions into negative realities and energies it's creating, which is enslavement, and the soul's deepest desire is to connect, experience, and reveal God down here in this physical world. So this is achieved by using our soul powers appropriately versus contributing to what desensitizes us to God and leads to God being even more hidden. We create our reality. All that comes from above comes through us. God is our shadow. The thought, speech, and action influences personal, collective, and cosmic realities. And the plagues were corrections, not punishments. So chametz, on Pesach we don't eat leavened bread. It's like fermented like yeast. In ourself is ego. Ego is duality. Seeing our existence separately, independently from the source, feeling disconnected, having a vague kind of God. Even though Einod Milvado, there's nothing but God, there's nothing but Him. All differentiated aspects are within and of God. So out of control malchus is like confidence and authority is when we dominate and exploit and oppress others like a tyrant, ruining over others, destructive. Healthy malchus is when we're calm and dignified, regal, running our own life and influencing others for the same. Yesod is the power of intimacy. When it's unhealthy, it's emotional coldness and dispassionate relations without warmth. Healthy Yesod is the ability to be seen and known and to see and know with warmth, which is intimacy required for foundation in relationships. Hod is healthy in a state of openness, capable of learning from everyone and everything to receive. Unhealthy Hod is self-hatred, self-beratement, crushing or dulling our spirit and excitement and wonder in life. It's a feeling of unworthy. In asking for healthy humility, we can say, may my soul be like dust. Because self-depreciation sucks life force out of a person. We're trying to say that we shouldn't lower ourselves, but we should allow ourselves to be not so important, not so the focus. Netzach gone wrong is the ambition and perseverance that rules that runs over people and devours, destroys, crushes anyone we perceive to be in our way. Netzach in a healthy way gives meaning, purpose, and fulfillment to life, to experience. Tiferes, when it's corrupted, is a manipulation through feigning compassion, exploiting vulnerabilities, weaknesses, and insecurities. But a healthy Tiferes is the compassion and mercy. It is a more enduring than even loving kindness because it accepts all the flaws and defects, seeing one as they are, choosing a tailor-made way to interact, including shortcomings, accepting who or someone really is as they are. And then healthy Gevura is the ability to say no and set boundaries. It removes us from the people, events, and environments back into ourself for ascension, like flames rising. This Torah Gevura rejects inappropriately or to hateful or violent extremes. Unhealthy chesed is water flowing everywhere. It's suffocating, no boundaries, or clarity or independence. It's selfless in a way that's smothering because the annihilation of identity is codependency, loss, addiction, blame, no privacy, lack of self-validation, attachment, dependence, enmeshment, fear, insecurity. Healthy chesed is giving indiscriminately without taking recipients into account, nourishing, watering. Unhealthy is like self-seeking, damaging. That's the way to tell the difference. Intellectual discernment and control can let us rein in distorted emotions, but when the intellectual abilities are distorted, it's more of a consuming and intense dysfunction. Bina is the creative intellect. Deep understanding is our most precious gift because it's the focus that allows us to delve into the mysteries of the universe and improve our lives and discover our own higher calling. It is the faculty of inquiry. Unhealthy Bina rationalizes every type of distortion and comes up with a justification. It uproots every existing moral structure, field of spiritual internal values and principles, and it over-intellectualizes as a slave to supporting any whim of emotions. Chachma is the ability to conceive a new idea. Kayachma, the power of what is, aka what is out there, what's going on around me, to reach beyond limits of the mind, the worldview, once it acknowledges and sees that the said constraints are constraints. Unhealthy chachma is the know-it-all, subtle or unsettled, who can't admit to not be omniscient. Ego of not being able to receive a higher light more because it refuses to open in the closed places when it can't even see that one is closed. To deny our own mind the opportunity for illumination. Keser is the highest soul power, superconscious, the most subtle, essential energy that's closest to the undefinable. It's like a crown. And this unknowable essence manifests into something from Keser, first formed impressions and motivations deep within, lying beneath the surface of conscious self. This dimension of personality almost untouchable, and lifestyle of cruelty and distortions and ego enslaved, disconnected from God, others, or the self, brings about the death of the core identity of the person. The Jews left Egypt to receive the 10 commandments, corresponding to the 10 sfirot, corresponding to the 10 plagues. And when we treat the plagues with a consciousness that it's all for our good, it's sent for our soul's ability to manifest more deeply in our day-to-day, to correct what is an unhealthy suffering state. It can sweeten the judgment. And I wish you a beautiful evening. Good night.